All right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see here. Let me make sure everything is okay with the chat. All right. We'll just wait for a few people to we'll give everybody until about 1:20. Everybody until 1:20. So we'll get started in about 3 minutes. Giving everybody 2 more minutes. 2 minutes before we get started on today's live. Let me know as y'all joining in. Let me know if there's any lag time on the live so I can fix that. All right. All right. It's 1:20. So let's get started. Welcome everybody. This is Brandon with the Wealth Blueprint. Today on this live stream, we will be talking about how to become financially free through real estate, even while having a 9 to 5 job. All right. Now, if you're new to this channel, go ahead and give this video a like, and try to go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time I release a new video. All right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the live stream. I already pinned into the comment section that if you have any questions, please save all your questions until the end of the video. I will have a little bit of time at the end to answer a few questions if you do have some. Feeling a little bit congested right now, so don't mind me. Still going to push through for you guys and get through this content. Okay. First things first. The question I want to answer is it okay to have a 9-to-5 job and then being an entrepreneur as well? Like, is that something that's okay? You know, some people frown upon it, some people say it's acceptable. I'm gonna give you guys my opinion and my thoughts on how I feel about it. Well, first things first, having a 9-to-5 job, it's nothing wrong with it. Now, I'm going to say it's nothing wrong with it as long as you have an end goal, an exit strategy, some way where you can be able to start pulling away from that 9-to-5, or ultimately replace your 9-to-5 income with whatever your business is as an entrepreneur. There's many different things you can do as an entrepreneur. Of course, I'm in the real estate field. And that's what, kind of broke me out of getting out of traditional 9-to-5 space. But before I was in real estate, I worked 9-to-5. I worked in IT, did that for about 3-4 years. And, while doing that, I always had an exit plan. Like from day one, I always told myself I'm going to work X amount of time, attempt to save up X amount of capital, and be able to eventually go into what I'm actually passionate about. At the time, I didn't know what that would be. I didn't know it was going to be real estate until I kind of caught that real estate bug and began understanding how real estate works and dove deep into it. So that first point in, is it okay to have a 9-to-5 job as an entrepreneur? I'm gonna say yes and no. It all depends on how you treat the 9-to-5 job. Because if you're working from 9-to-5 and you're an entrepreneur as well, so your entrepreneur time is going to be your 5 to 9. You have to be able to put in work as an entrepreneur every day, as you will be putting in work just like you will be working for your employer. You go there, you wake up in the morning, you go and you do your 8 hours, you get home. It's not time for, Netflix. It's not time for, just kind of just horsing around. It's time to give at least some time. It might not be 5 to 9. It might be 5 to 7. You might have kids. You might have other obligations that you have to do after you get off of work, which I understand. You know what I mean? But you want to be able to make sure that you give yourself some time as an entrepreneur to be able to work on whatever it is and whatever the industry is you want to work on. You want to be doing something every single day after you getting off of work, as an entrepreneur. Now, if you're working the 9-to-5 like that, yeah, you might be tired, but you're separating yourself. You're getting further and further and further away from actually needing the 9-to-5. You don't want to be dependent on the 9-to-5. You want to be able to start generating revenue and generating income with your business and whatever that is on the side, until that side income can be a full-time income. And then now you have more time of your day that you've gotten back because you're not at a job from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 p.m. in the evening. So that's my answer for that. I would say yes and no, depending on how you work the situation. Now, I know some people may disagree. Some people may agree with me on that. But that's the best advice I can honestly give, just on personal experience and what I've done and how I've been able to, become an entrepreneur in the midst of having a full-time job. Okay. Number two will be how many hours should you work on your business? Now, like I say, this varies. Most people say, you have a 9 to 5. You have to be able to have a 5 to 9 as well. This varies. This all depends on your lifestyle. It depends, if you do have kids, if you don't have kids, if you have a spouse, if you don't have a spouse. If you're just a single individual out there working a 9 to 5, you might be young. You might not really have any ties to anybody, not too many ties. Then you can go to work and get off, and you might be able to put in, another 6 or 7 hours to your business after you get home. You might be able to do 5 to 11, 5 to 12. It all depends on your lifestyle and how much time you have. Now if you do, have children, if you do, have a significant other, wife, whatever the case may be, husband, then you may want to do, a 5 to 7, 5 to 8. But as long as you're putting in some time every single day towards, your business as an entrepreneur, then that time adds up. That time adds up. You put in 3 hours every single day for 7 days extra onto your business. Now you put in 21 hours into your business that particular week. That 21 hours, now it translates into the full month. Then it translates to the full year. So you did a lot of work that full year just by putting in 3 hours every single day. And you'll be able to see how far that'll be able to take you within your business as an entrepreneur. So I would say the time will always vary. It varies depending on you, your situation, and how much time that you actually have um, to put into your business. So I would say that, me personally, if I was to give a time frame, I would be saying that someone should be working from 9 to 5 in the morning as a 9 to 5er at your main job. And then to start developing your business, I would say that you at least need to do 5 to 9 when you get off, because that's 4 hours. And those 4 hours, in 7 days will translate to, I believe, 28 hours every single week that you're putting into your business. And you'll be able to see how your business grows, and to see the growth of your business just by putting in basically half a day that you've put in at work. I just don't understand people that will go to work, and fulfill someone else's dreams at a 9 to 5, and then don't put any effort into their own business or into something else to try to generate another income stream. Because not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, everyone wants to be a business owner, but those aren't the people that I'm talking to right now. Everyone that watches my content understands that I am here to be able to help people generate generational wealth, being able to generate other income streams, particularly through real estate. But there's so many other, ways you can generate extra income to be able to supplement, your full-time income, and then turn that supplemental income into a full-time income. So without dabbling too much into, number two, let's jump into number three. Let's jump into number three. Number three, we have, how do you actually begin to invest and where to start? So this is going to dive a little bit deeper into the real estate aspect of the video, because I don't want this to be too broad, because many people come here to understand and learn about real estate. So um, one thing that I'll say is to begin while you have the 9 to 5 job. Just because you have the 9 to 5 job and you may be making either, like, just say moderate money, decent money, right? Let's just call that, I don't know, $50,000 a year. Now, not everyone makes that, but let's just throw that number out there just for hypothetical speaking. You'll be bringing in around I don't know, anywhere from like $3,500 to $4,500 a month, maybe after net, maybe, depending on, your pay schedule and things like that. Now, if that's what you're making on a monthly basis and you're living within your means, then you will be able to save money while you're making this money. What you don't want to do, and what a lot of people do when they have 9 to 5 jobs, they work the job X amount of time, they don't save any money, they get a raise at work, and then they start raising their lifestyle. Get another raise at work, they start raising their lifestyle some more. That's the issue. That's the reason why people are always stuck in the rat race, because the more money that someone makes, the quicker they are wanting to spend it. That's not the way that the wealthy stay wealthy. They don't take money and just spend money and keep increasing their um like all their liabilities pretty much. People start spending money on, getting new cars, getting new things, designer and stuff like that. But that's not how you should be spending your money. You should be spending your money on investments. So let's just break down some simple math. If you make $4,000 every single month, and I mean, I feel like that's a pretty fair number. If you make less than that, just adjust the numbers based on, you know, how you see fit. And if you make more than that, then adjust the numbers on how you see fit. So $4,000, let's say, you have a mortgage, and let's say your mortgage is, let's call it $1,500 a month after all your utilities and HOA fees if you have them, things like that. Let's just say you spent $2,000 altogether. Let's say you have a car note. So your car note is about $500 a month. Let's say that you have insurance is $200 a month. You all in $2,700, right? Follow me, $2,700. Now, let's say you have a few other expenses as well. A phone bill, grocery, like little things like that. Let's say all that adds up to $300. So now your expenses are $3,000. Your monthly income is $4,000. So as a remainder in that month, you'll be left over with about $1,000. Now, this is not the best scenario because you're spending 75%, about 75%, 3/4 of your income. So that's the issue, to be spending that much money and you only making $4,000 a month. But let's just say that's the situation that you're in. Pretty sure many people in the world are in that same situation. You spend more money than you make almost. You know what I mean? You're spending $3,000, but you're making 4,000. But you do have an extra $1,000 at the end of every single month or some money. Now with this $1,000, we don't just want to just put it in a savings account, put it in the bank. We don't just want to, okay, let's just increase my expenses and buy this and buy that and buy some miscellaneous things with this $1,000 just because I had it, and I'm, the money is just burning a hole in the pocket. Because how we're taught growing up, we don't know what to do with money. We don't know how to invest money. We don't know anything about how to invest. So what you want to do is start investing in cash flowing assets. Invest in things that will generate you an ROI. ROI means return on investment. You want to be able to have a return on your money every time you invest it. To do this, you have to understand investing and understand what type of investment you're getting yourself into. One of the safest investments you can put yourself into is real estate. Now, one might say, how do I get started in the real estate? How do I only have $1,000 and turn that money into X, Y, and Z? Well, let me explain that to you a bit. If you have $1,000 every single month, let's just call this month February. At the end of February, I have $1,000 saved up. After my expenses, all the expenses are paid for, my bills and everything else, I have nothing else to pay for, and I have $1,000. How I got started in the real estate is actually real estate wholesaling. What real estate wholesaling is where you can be able to get a property, get a house, a multifamily unit, whatever. Let's just keep it simple though. Let's get a house, put that house under contract. Once the house is under contract with the homeowner, you and the homeowner have an agreement that you're going to purchase this house at a set price. Let's call that price $50,000. Now, you have a contract stating that you're going to purchase this property at $50,000. Now, in this contract, there's a section in the contract where it says and or assign. This now makes the contract assignable. I can now take this contract and I can sell the rights of this contract to an end investor, meaning somebody who's going to fix the property up, flip it, put it back on the retail market. As you see, people take houses that might not be as attractive in the beginning. They spent some money on the house, and now the house looks in immaculate condition. It looks like HGTV, and a traditional home buyer wants to move into that property, or people, landlords want to own it. Investors want to own it, so that way they can cash flow on the property, keep it as a rental, and put it in their portfolio like that. So the process of wholesaling is you have a contract with you and the seller, and then you take that contract and sell it for more than what you originally got the contract for to the investor. So if I bought it, if I had signed the contract for $50,000 with the homeowner, I might take it to the investor and say, hey, I have a property for you. You just bought a property over here on this same block. In this property, I want $60,000 for it. It's a no-brainer. They didn't have to go and find the deal. They didn't have to do any marketing to find the homeowner, to talk to them and negotiate with them. You use all your skills to negotiate with the homeowner, get the property for $50,000. Now you get paid in the middle. You're a middleman in this situation. So you get paid in the middle of this. So 50,000 here, 60,000 here, you keep the difference, which is $10,000. Now the homeowner's happy because they got $50,000 net cash out all to them. The investor is happy because you brought them a property for $60,000, and they might renovate that thing, and it might be now worth $150,000. So they might put some money into it and still be able to profit on the back end as well. Everyone's happy. It's a win-win-win situation. Now, this is called real estate wholesaling. This is how I got into real estate. Now, that's just an entry point. This is an entry point when you don't have much money to get started. I didn't have much money when I got started in real estate. I wanted to use some of my savings for my 9-to-5, but I didn't have much. Those savings start dwindling away because the way I walked away from my 9-to-5 is not the traditional way that most people would. I didn't put in the 2 weeks. I didn't say, oh, I'm going to save up this amount before I get started in the real estate. I just dove deep in because that's just what I decided to do back in 2019. If I wouldn't have did that, I would have felt like I had a safety net and I might not have never left the 9-to-5. So it's up to you on how you want to translate into, muscling up either the courage to leave and walk away from the 9-to-5, or to work the 9-to-5, but don't let the 9-to-5 work you. That's the most important thing, the most important advice I can give you. But real estate wholesaling is the avenue that I took into getting into real estate. And I started with less than $1,000. So $1,000, I'm just letting you know that you can use $1,000 to be able to get started. This particular video is not about how to get started into wholesaling real estate. It's not what this is about. I have plenty of content about that. But this particular video is about how, as a 9-to-5 employee, you can get started investing into real estate. I just gave you the blueprint. That's how you get it started, by real estate wholesaling. If you need more information on that, of course, you could reach out and contact me. But that's not what this video is about. You can you can ask your questions at the end. I might be able to go into it a little bit more, but this is just simply giving you the steps and process that you need to think, with the first having the mindset of how do I even operate as a 9 to 5er and trying to be an entrepreneur and in whatever field I'm in, not just real estate. You might not be in real estate. You might be in a different field, might have a different business that you own aside from your 9 to 5. That's all perfectly fine. But we need to figure out, the point is how to separate the two, how to not be working against yourself and work with the 9 to 5 and work with your business at the same time, to be able to start slowly separating both of them and turn your 5 to 9 into your 9 to 5. Right now we have one more step here. So the last question was, how much capital do you need to start investing in real estate? um like I said, you don't even necessarily need $1,000 to get started into real estate. um just to give you a few things, you will need some money for marketing. You'll need money for marketing for sure. You'll need some money to get some data and things like that. Like I said, I'm not going to really go too much into it, but you will need some money. I can honestly say that probably under about $600, about under $500, you can get access to some pretty good data, and you can get access to um, a marketing channel, which is like cold calling. You can just get, a cold caller, or you can cold call yourself, and you can be able to use cold calling as your marketing strategy. And it's really inexpensive. It's really not too expensive. And that's something that you can do. And the reason why I said you can hire someone to cold call for you, because you have a 9 to 5. If you wouldn't have a 9 to 5 and you had no money to invest, you're at a different stage than somebody who has a 9 to 5. You have a 9 to 5, that means you have access to capital, you have access to money. So to make your money work for you is you start to delegate and outsource different aspects of your business. You know, you start delegating different parts of your business. This way, you don't have to be hustling and bustling all day long. You don't have to be answering the phones, when you're at work, because you're at work from 9 to 5. This is the main time that most other people are at work. Or sometimes people might be off and want to give you a call and kind of see what your business is about. Let's just say real estate is your business. Most real estate deals are done during the daytime. Not many of them are done at night. So you want to be able to have somebody that's available to be able to, answer the phones for you, be able to help you run your business. You won't be able to do it by yourself as a 9 to 5er. You don't have all day to run your business. But when you get home from 5 to 9, you start working on your processes. You start working on, tracking different things and being able to put in piece your business together, to be able to make it run like a well-oiled machine. So as a 9 to 5, you have this money, you have access to this money to be able to help somebody help you run your business. And you have virtual assistants, you have a whole bunch of different things you can do to automate your business. That way you're investing in your business, and your business is going to start generating income. And then once you figure out and start tracking how your business is being run and how much money you're spending, on about how much money you're netting at the end of every month, then you just keep on refining your business. And then you can start spending more money into your business and investing more. But to get started, I would say, honestly, anywhere from about $500 to $600 as a 9 to 5er, you can get started in the wholesaling real estate. You don't need 10s, 20s, 30s, 50s to thousands of dollars to get started. I think traditionally when people hear, oh, I want to invest in real estate, they think that, okay, I'm gonna take $50,000 and just put it into a deal of some type of a multi-family project apartment building or something like that. That might, take $1 million to buy it, and you might need to put $100,000 down to get into that deal. That's not even the deal you even want to be getting into until you understand how that whole world works. Real estate is a very big field. Wholesaling real estate is just one aspect of it. There's so many different aspects of real estate, and you get more developed into that. But you have to understand the basis. You have to start at some point, and then you start. It's like real estate is like a tree. You plant the seed first. then that seed expands up into the bark, into the tree. Now you have different branches that come off of that tree. And that's the different aspects of real estate you start learning and getting into as time goes on. Um, and you'll never know everything. There's too much to learn and too much to know. You'll never know everything, but you can refine your mind and refine your skill set to be able to know enough to be able to invest successfully into real estate. Now, we've been on for about 30 minutes. If anybody has any questions, now is the time to ask them. Now is the time to ask the questions. All right. All right. It's not looking like, there's no questions. There's no questions here. So if there is any questions, feel free to drop some comments, underneath the video. I'll be sure to respond back to you as soon as I can. Um, but as I said, once again, this is the Wealth Blueprint. This is Brandon here. Um, if if you found this content valuable and you felt like you learned something today, then please feel free to drop a like. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. This is mainly just a real estate channel. Understand that it's mainly a real estate channel, but I wanted to break down today how just as an entrepreneur in itself, you can be able to be an entrepreneur and work the 9 to 5 at the same time, and how you should treat the 9 to 5. Um, while you're working it, don't let it work you. Never let the 9 to 5 work you. Always work it. All right. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one, y'all.